We are saving files and documents all the time, but I bet you barely pay attention to this save dialog. It's just about putting the name on it and save it. Yes, of course it is, but it has a lot of functionality and many ways how to get around faster. And that's exactly the Apple Online Academy way, to help you be the most productive and save every possible second of the day. So let me give you 10 different tips here about the save dialog. When you create a new document or want to download a file from the internet, you will probably encounter a save dialog. This is what comes up in Pages when you choose File menu and Save, or Command S shortcut. For the first time, it will probably be this simple dialog. There is not much to see here, but on the Mac there are two modes of save dialog. So click on this button right here and we get to the full view. Once you switch to this view, you should see it every time, so you don't need to do it again. Good thing to realize in the beginning is that this dialog is basically a Finder window. You can navigate around to whatever folder you want the same way as you would on Finder. So the first tip I want to give you is about the sidebar here. If I open new Finder window, you will see it's the same. This is very handy if you have added any favorite folder in the sidebar. Like I have the project folder here, because now I can quickly access the same folder in the save dialog as well. Now if you don't see the sidebar, just click here. This is the place where you can get a lot more options. At the top you will see the show sidebar option. What you can also do here is to switch to a different view. Most people don't realize that. I don't need to have this window in a list view. I can have it as icons, which might be more comfortable. We can even sort the folders, but that's not that important. But what is more interesting is to show the extension. So here you can see the save as name is untitled, but if I uncheck this option, it will add .pages extension there. Actually from Pages you can export files in various different formats. So seeing it right here that I am actually saving it in the correct one might be useful. Now it's time to name the file. Again, you can just manually type it, but if you do that 100 times a day, it will slow you down. Well, you can use these files from the folders around. Maybe you are just saving updated version of an old document and you want to use the same name. So even though the icons are grayed out, I can still interact with them. If I click on any, it will copy the name which I can use to replace the file. Or to go even further, if I right click or control click the file, I can actually rename it. So now I can call it old and use its original name for the new file I'm currently saving. This all can be done through the save dialog. I don't need to go to the Finder at all. So now we have the name sorted and it's time to get to the right location where we want to save it. There are a few different techniques you can use for that. I want to start with the path bar because I use it quite often. I have a whole video about the floating path bar, so you can check it if you want to learn more about it. But basically all you need to do is to press and hold the Option key on your keyboard. Once you do that, this bar will temporarily appear on the bottom. So you can use it now to navigate inside the path and jump to the folder you want. If you are using the same locations often, you can also use this pull-down menu, which will show you recent places that you have saved files before, and also some other common locations, like documents or iCloud. Another interesting thing you can do is to drag and drop a location from the Finder. So let's say I am about to save this document deep inside my project folder, but I actually have the Finder window open right next to it. I can take any folder, even this one if I drag it from the name, and now drop it into the save dialog, and it will jump exactly to that location. So if you have the Finder window open on the required location, it might be a quickest way to get to it. But as I already mentioned before, this is basically a Finder window, so you can use a lot of common shortcuts here. For example, Shift-Command-O to open documents, or Shift-Command-D to open desktop. You can find all of these shortcuts in the Find the Go menu, so learning them might be a fast way to navigate to the right folder. Interestingly, you can actually open the Finder window directly from the Save dialog. So if there is something you need to do on the location before saving the file, you can always use Command R to open up Finder window, which is pointing to this exact location. So now I can rename files, rearrange and delete, do whatever I want, and when I come back to the Save dialog to continue, the changes will be there as well, because all of it is made in the real time. Now you can also search for a location where to save your file. You can click here and type the location, or press Command F to quickly select the search window. Now I can type the folder name, click on Name Matches, and search for the folder I need. I can also search by tags and actually add some to the file for easier categorization, but that's a topic for another video. Now we are finally at the location we need, and it's time to create a new folder and save it there. Well, of course you can use this button to make a folder, but again you can also use the shortcut to do it. So press Shift-Command-N and here you have a new folder. And it was again a second faster. So now we saved 1 second, so maybe you can use it to give this video a like if you enjoy the content. It means a lot to me, and it will help to share these tips with more people. Now if you press Enter or click on the Save button, the file will be saved on the chosen location. But if you at the last moment decide you don't want to save it, you can use the Escape key on your keyboard to cancel it. Just note that the Escape key doesn't always work. Sometimes if you have certain things selected, it will not quit it. Luckily, there is an alternative. So remember Command plus period. So if I press Command plus period, it will cancel this dialog. At the end, I also want to note that sometimes you can find different options in the Save dialog. It depends on the application you use. If I open TextEdit and press Command S to open the Save dialog, you can see I have an option to select different file formats which can be used in TextEdit. And one more example in Preview app. Here I also have different options. In this case it's a PDF, but I can select a different format for it and also choose different filter and so on. It really depends on the app. But I hope you took something from this video and you will now have full control over the Save dialogs. If you find this video useful and want to support my channel, give it a like or subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and these videos might actually help you save a lot of time and learn some new things. So see you in the next one.